What's going on, guys? It's PokePond back with another video for you. We got so much to talk about today. The Sword and Shield sealed market is absolutely exploding. We got new products like this Team Rocket UPC. We'll be dissecting the whole thing, giving you all of my thoughts on that. And we're also talking everything modern. Scarlet and Violet, Destined Rivals, Prismatic Evolutions. What all the best things to buy right now are. Make sure you subscribe down below to never miss an opportunity. Let's get into it. We're going to start off today's episode like we start off all of our episodes. We've got to talk about our favourite set, the most hyped set of the era. It is the Destined Rivals booster box. And something pretty interesting is going on in the price charts this week on Destined Rivals. We're seeing a price rebound, which is a really strong thing to see, especially for all of us that are currently holding the Destined Rivals booster box. It dropped down a little bit over the last couple of weeks. People were getting a little bit worried. They were like, oh no, the sky is falling. Destined Rivals has dropped down 2, 3, 4%. This is it. It's going to crash down to MSRP now. No, it's back up at all-time highs, I'm afraid. MSRP gang is disappointed again. $314 was the peak of it at the start of August, and we're seeing a last sales data of $315. We are seeing a new all-time high with another sale earlier today as well at $320, $321. So it's just continuing to break new boundaries. Destined Rivals is really paving the way for the rest of the sets in the era. It is right up there as one of, if not the best set of the Scarlet and Violet era. I think we all know it by now. And I mean, I'm just so happy that I bought in at this point. That's not to brag at all. But I tell you what, no matter what you do in this industry, people will always say you're making the wrong decision. Everyone's got their own opinions on what's going to go on in the price. We had a little bit of luck and a little bit of skill. We analysed the data. We said more than likely it's probably going to continue to go up in price. So I would rather just buy into it now at around about release date for around about this $240, $250 mark. People said I was mad because there'd be continued reprints and stuff like that. But I think that people really neglect to realise now that we are in the age of the rip and ship now. I don't think people understand just how many people open packs now, and it's not just your normal people. There are businesses that are churning through products that are live 24/7. They will literally have multiple streamers that they will rotate in and out, and they are just ripping packs constantly. Destined Rivals has no price ceiling. The reason why it has no price ceiling is because of the fact that on mediums like Whatnot and stuff like that with rip and shipping, or if people are doing their own sort of rip and ship streams through YouTube and stuff like that, it kind of doesn't matter what they pay per pack. So the price will just continue to scale because whatever they pay pack wise, they will just add on their margin and then add on their platform fees of 10, 15, 16% that's charged by the platform that they're using. So it really doesn't matter how much they buy a box for as long as they can get the box. That's the issue for them. And I think that's why you're seeing this continued upward pressure, just because there's so much demand for product, because there are businesses out there that can pay $500, $600 when the price gets $700 for Destined Rivals. They could pay that and still make money on top. So it's worth them doing just because it's such a hype set. As long as the hype continues behind it, it will continue to go up in price, in my opinion. So, I mean, yeah, we're seeing a price increase on last week. Last week, around about $306 on the average price point. Now we're seeing $315, $312, $320, $321. Breaking through its all-time high and just continuing to climb for such a new set as well. I think that we all realised it was going to do well out of the gate, but I think that a lot of people are shocked at how well it's done outside the gate. And I tell you what, if you're picking it up now, even for these prices, I still don't think you can lose. We always recommend on the channel that you keep sealed product for at least 2 years. 2 years minimum. In a worst case scenario. So you can sell sooner if you're way up in it and you don't want to hold it anymore and you want to free up some money or something like that. That's fine. You can take profit at whatever price point you want, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Okay, it's your money, it's your investment. You do what you want to do. If you're happy to buy it at this price at around about, what's it at now, 314, 320, and you're like, I just want to ride it to 400, 420, make myself a quick extra $100 and then sell, that's perfectly fine, because there are plenty other people in the market like myself that when the market's at 410, we're still buying at 410. I will continually be buying into Destined Rivals. This is a promise until it's out of print. Okay, I will be buying into it for nearly another 2 years. So it doesn't matter to me what the price goes up to. If the price goes up to $1,000 a box, $1,500 a box, and it's still in that print window, I'm still buying for that, because I see the long-term goal. 2 years from after that, 3 years after that, what's going to happen a year after it's out of print, 2 years after it's out of print? I think it's just going to scale up like you're seeing some of those Sun and Moon boxes do right now. So yeah, let's have a look at last sale on eBay in the US. $316 on a buy it now. And then look, the two cheapest below it, the international arbitrage. We talk about this a lot on the channel. I'm UK based here. We look at US prices and UK prices so you can see what's going on in the market around the world. Look at this. Look, $275 from Australia, $297 imported from the UK. There is quite an opportunity with quite a few boxes right now where other international markets can get the same product. The only thing that's different is the cases. The cases are sometimes in a different shaped case box, and that's it. If you actually crack it open, it's all English booster boxes. It's all exactly the same. So if you're talking about just sending a sealed booster box from the UK to the US, it is exactly the same product, and that is why you need to pay attention to a channel like this, or do your own research and have a look at what's going on in UK and EU markets as well, because it is so easy for us to ship products over internationally. eBay does all of the shipping, handles all of the shipping for us. Yeah, we pay a little extra fees, but look at this. Look, we can send it for cheaper. All right, in this case, it's not much cheaper. But in other boxes later on, you'll see stuff like Temporal Forces in the US right now is, what, $240 a box. We can get it here and ship to the US for $170. That's why you need to be super, super careful, because there's a lot of supply of different boxes over here in the EU, and it's not hard for us to ship them to you guys. Let's have a look then at UK prices. Like I said, we compare both UK and US markets. So wherever you are in the world, hopefully you'll get something from these videos. £239 for a sealed Destined Rivals booster box, sold today. I'm making this video a little bit later in the day as well, so you will see more sales data from actually today. You can see it's still got the new listing tag as well, so someone just bought that out instantly for $240 because they know that that's a good deal, and that's why channels like this are so important, and why you need to subscribe down below to never miss an opportunity, because I will tell you all the prices week in, week out, so that you don't have to track all of these products on the market, because it is a lot to track. I will just tell you what the prices are each week. You can just tune in once a week, podcast style. You can just put me on in the background and I will just tell you what products are moving up and down sealed with Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield. I've been thinking a lot recently, actually. The videos are getting longer and longer. Quite often we're talking for around about an hour, going through all the Sword and Shield and all the Scarlet and Violet product. What happens when we go into the next era? Am I just going to have to bolt on all of those sets as well? The videos are just going to get longer and longer. I know some of you listening will enjoy that though, and will be looking forward to the longer videos. But have some mercy on my voice, because I do most of these, unless I sneeze and I cut the camera, it's just, like I said, podcast style. I'm just talking to you, no cuts, no nothing, no sips of drinks, nothing. Now we got to talk about the big boy. I know you're all waiting for me to talk about this. The announcement of the Team Rocket Moltres EX Ultra Premium Collection. That is a mouthful. AKA the Destined Rivals UPC, which is what I'm calling it. Although it only has 2 packs of Destined Rivals in it, which is a bit disappointing. It's more like those end of the era ultra premium collections, like you had the Charizard UPC, you had like a Sword and Shield one as well. The Terrapagos, that had mixed packs in as well, I think, or Terrapagos, however you want to say it. I like Terrapagos personally. Promo cards in it as well. These promo cards stamped, they're just going to pop off with the Destined Rivals stamp in it. They are going to people are going to go mad for this product, they really are. But what really does determine the value of these things long term isn't just the promo cards, it's what packs you get in it. And getting a nice mix of packs is always a good thing in these products. That's why the Charizard UPC started doing really well. That's why the Sword and Shield one started doing really well, because you were getting like Evolving Skies packs in there and stuff, and you were getting Fusion Strike. You were getting a really good mix of packs, and as those started to increase in price, those boxes, it makes these more desirable over time. And it's kind of like hedging your bets a little bit, because where you've got such a mix of packs, you only need a few of these sets to do really well for the value to be there in the box. I think it's a cool product. Personally, I'm not buying into it. I think that the pack selection is a little bit weak. I managed to find this image on Reddit, which actually had the packs on it that we are expected to see. And until I hear otherwise, this is what packs you get in it. I have no reason to believe that this isn't true. It's in another language, these packs, but you can obviously see what they are. I'm trying to identify it from this blurry sort of photo. I can't zoom it in anymore. But this is what I've basically identified that you get in the box. So it looks like 2 Destined Rivals packs, which is really disappointing for a Team Rocket branded box to only have 2 Destined Rivals packs in there. I feel like the product would have done so much better if it had 4 packs in and it had all of the artworks for it. You've got 2 Journey Together. It looks like 2 Temporal Forces, 2 Paradox Rift, 4 Obsidian Flames packs, which is kind of crazy. Just put in 2 Obsidian Flames and 4 Destined Rivals, honestly. And then this is interesting. 4 Paldea Evolved packs, it looks like. That could be quite a bit of value going forward in the future. If Paldea Evolved continues to run up in price and the Magikarp continues to have a big run, having 4 Paldea Evolved packs in there could really carry the price of this box. And then there's 2 base set packs by the looks of it. Now, this graphic isn't confirmed of what's going to be in there, but I have no reason to believe that this isn't true, and this is what's going to be coming in there. It looks like you get a playmat as well, and these promo cards will go off as well, especially the fact that they're stamped with the Destined Rivals thing. It's just crazy to me that they're putting the Destined Rivals stamp on it. They're putting the Team Rocket's Moltres in it. They're putting the big R on it for the Team Rocket. They're branding it as Destined Rivals. And they're only putting 2 packs of Destined Rivals in there. It just seems crazy to me. I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe they're trying to keep like the cost down low on it and stop it from being scalped. Not going to happen. This product is going to go mad out the gate. Personally, I'm not buying into it because I think that it's probably going to be overpriced by scalpers on release. I think if you can get one in the wild for anywhere around retail, it's an instant buy. It's a real good winner, but I don't know. I think long term it'll do fine because of the packs in it and the promos in it. Like I said, stuff like the Paldea Evolved will really carry it. Destined Rivals is set to do really well as well, so there's 2 packs of that in there too. I think it will do fine long term. It's just I would personally rather put my money into other things than pay scalper prices on this particular product. I would personally rather pick up something like a Prismatic ETB right now for that kind of money. You could probably get 2 Prismatic ETBs for that. But that's just my take. Let's talk then about Prismatic Evolutions. Prismatic Evolutions, so many people in the industry were saying that with the Costco printings, it would drop down to MSRP. I personally don't think that that's ever going to happen. We've said for a long time that it's going to hold at around this $100 price point, and that's what we're seeing really. Last sale $100, $97, $99, $97, $100. It's just holding at $100, and that's with them churning it out. Okay, there's this whole rhetoric of people that are saying, oh yeah, but it's going to be printed into the ground. No, this is it. This is them printing it into the ground. It is everywhere. It is in Sam's Club. It is in Costco. It is all over eBay. And it's still holding over $100. Prismatic Evolutions is one of the top 2 sets. It's right up there with Destined Rivals, in my opinion, and 151, and Paldean Fates. Okay, they're all up there. Okay, top 4 sets. I just named them all. There you go. I'm not going to say them again. But Prismatic is right up there. It's going to do fantastic long term. And now is your opportunity to buy into it. I'm telling you, the $1,000? The $100 Prismatic Evolutions ETB is like buying Crown Zenith when it was $60. I'm telling you now. Buying into Prismatic Evolutions for $100 is a great buy, and you've got time as well. It's going to stay at this $100 for a little while, as long as they keep supplying the Costco and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, once this goes out of print and there's no more of it, and they move on, and they will move on, give it another year max, 1 year max, I think, and then it's just going to start going to the moon, maybe even sooner. They will move on, especially when they're going into a new era. I think it's going to tie in roughly with them finishing off all the Mega Evolution sets. I think at that time, they're really... I mean, technically, it's still going to be in print window, but I think that's when you're going to stop seeing it really be flooded onto the market at around about that time. About a year from now, I think end of next summer, I think that Prismatic Evolutions ETBs are going to become scarce, and they're going to become scarce real quick, because as soon as people start realizing that there's no more of them available and there's going to be no more print runs, you're going to see it run like 151 is running now. I guarantee it. Obviously, when I say I guarantee something, I'm not guaranteeing it. Nothing is guaranteed in this hobby, so don't listen to me, but you should listen to me. Last sold on eBay US $100. I honestly don't think you can lose at $100. Buy these for $100, sit on them for a couple of years. I think you'll do really well. And I think that even in a couple of years' time, you still won't want to sell it, because it's just going to be creeping up week on week on week on week. I think it's going to do really well. I am really bullish behind Prismatic Evolutions. It's one of my favourite sets. Last sold in the UK, just under 100, all in. There's another one here for 115. PC ETB, 200 quid. I'm never going to recommend you buy PC ETBs because they're so volatile and there's so much premium behind them. People get mad when I say that, and they say, oh, PC ETBs aren't volatile, they only go up in price. That is the definition of a volatile product. I'm sorry. Volatile also means going up that way as well, as in like aggressively going up in price. There are so much premium put behind the PC ETBs. When things are going well in the market, they do great. Yes, I completely agree. But when things are going not so well, people will buy them less. There's less people that will buy them for the sake of them being PC ETBs. Your customer base is just a little bit smaller. Think about 151. 151 PC ETB is what? $800 plus right now? The actual amount of the hobby that are willing to spend $800 plus on a PC ETB, it's no longer about whether the box is worth that or not. It's how many customers do you have? How easy is that to move at that price point? And when you start to see more of a slump in the market, or more and more people struggling with their finances a little bit more, that's when the PC ETBs struggle a little bit. So just be careful with PC ETBs. I do love them. I do own some. I just don't recommend you invest in them because they are extremely volatile. I would say you're much better off getting a couple of normal ones. It's just safer. Yes, the gains are probably going to be smaller, but it's a lot less risk. Journey Together then. Journey Together is pretty much holding from where it was last week. $260 last week on the average price. It's about there on the average again, but only because, right, we're seeing this every week too. Someone's buying one for $300. They are clearly just manipulating the charts here because it's always one sale and it's always every 7 days. So you can see regular sales here for $250. But look, here's one here for $319. Here's another one here for $300. Okay, it's never worth that. People are just trying to play it to push up these averages. Look, it's chilling at $261, but it's regularly selling for $250. $250, I personally think, for Journey Together is just a tad overpriced right now. I think that it will fall a little bit going forward. However, if you want to buy into Journey Together and you like the set, I think it will do fine long term. If you buy in for $260 now, hold it for a couple of years, I think you'll do fine with it. I personally put a value of around about $245 to $250. If you can pick one up for around about that price, you're looking at that kind of average price of a Scarlet and Violet box now, sort of like the mid-tier level boxes. So I think that's where it should be. I think 260 is a little bit too much. I think 250s, yeah, a little tad over. I would say 240, 245 is where it should be at the moment, in my opinion. Last sale on eBay US enhanced version, 225, not too bad. Last sale in the UK enhanced, 210. They're quite scarce here in the UK though. Normal version, 185, 188 with postage. For the normal version, no box topper. That's creeping up in price a little bit here, and like I said, I think it's a little bit undervalued. Overvalued for what it is. I think that this should be closer to around about £170 or around about, yeah, about this, you know, after taxes, probably about 240, something like that, $240. Let's talk about 151 then. We briefly talked about the 151 Elite Trainer box running away and how I expect Prismatic to follow it given the same amount of time. We probably aren't going to get any more 151 Elite Trainer boxes going forward, and it's just continuing to juggernaut up in price. It is doing really well. Last week we had an average price of $301. This week we're seeing $347. Let's work out some percentages on that. So that's $46 price point on 301. 15.2% price rise in the last 7 days when you're looking at the averages. Just continuing to juggernaut on. I expect it to continue to do this as well over the next couple of years. I think that it's heading north of $500 a box in not too long. How long, I don't know. 6 months to a year, probably closer to the year side. But I do see it at around about $500 at least in 12 months time, if not a lot higher. I think long term it's going to be one of those products that really could go $600, $700 a box plus in the long term, when we're talking 2 years plus. Yeah, don't think we're going to get any more of those personally. Last sale in the US, $320 with the PCETB going for $875. That's nuts. Another one going for $865. We're calling for $1,000 PCETB. It's coming in. There's a hell of a premium on that product. I certainly wouldn't be buying in at that price, but some people would. That's a new listing as well. Someone bought that out instantly for $875. That's crazy. I don't have that kind of money to be thrown around on one single box, but there's a lot of people in the hobby that do. And this is something that's really important to talk about as well. We all have different financial situations. It's very easy to get yourself into a loop watching videos like this, not just mine, other people's content as well, where we are constantly pointing out plays and it's very easy to FOMO into stuff. There's plays all the time, guys. Okay, if you subscribe to this channel, I will tell you plays every 7 days. Okay, you might want to take some time out and not buy anything for 6 months, 12 months. That's completely fine. I've done it myself. I've been doing this a long time. I've gone long periods of time where I'm just sitting on what I've got because I'm happy with what I've got, and I'll just spend my money on some other things. You know, I invest. I was going to say I play the stock market. It kind of is a game though. I invest in the stock market as well, and I flip between the two. I did crypto for a little while in the past. I don't do crypto anymore. I think it's just way too volatile, and I prefer tangible products like my Pokemon products. But this is what I'm saying, guys. Don't get sucked into some of these videos. It's easy to fall into a trap that you're always like, I need to make this play, I need to make this play. Only invest what you're comfortable with, invest what you're happy to lose with. Don't let it impact the rest of your life by taking away money that you would have spent for other things, particularly if it's money for your family. £271 last sold in the UK. Honestly, this channel's not going anywhere. If you want to buy nothing for the next 6 months and then tune in and watch a video, then I'll be telling you all the plays you can make then as well. There are always plays in this hobby, whether it's hype cycle right at the top of a bull market, right where we are right now, or whether you're right at the bottom of the market too. We do it every 7 days. We operate through all of these. That's really what sets this channel apart. It's very easy for people to point out plays when everything's going up and be like, oh yeah, buy this. Oh yeah, I told you so. Last week I told you to buy this. Now it's up another 10%. What I love doing is finding plays no matter what the market condition. And to me, it really doesn't matter what the market condition is. There are always plays to be had. Look how many tabs I've got open. Pretty much everything here's a play right now that I've got open. And we do it every single week. Make sure you subscribe down below to never miss an opportunity. If you've got the product, you've got the power. I'm going to keep working that slogan, and I love it. Let's talk about Twilight Masquerade then. Twilight Masquerade peaked at around about this July time, just like it did with Paldea Evolved as well. It peaked at around about $284, and last sales, $289. Another 285, 285, 285. All-time high again. Twilight Masquerade. People thought it was slipping, but it's there. Never mind what the chart's saying there. We have broken a new all-time high this week again on Twilight Masquerade. I think Twilight Masquerade is going to do really well long term. I think the Greninja is going to hard carry the set, and the Greninja card is one of the most iconic cards. It's definitely, what would we put it? It's hard to say it's a top 5 card, but it's definitely up there. I think that there's a lot of cards in the Scarlet and Violet era that are all fighting for that 5th or 6th slot of like best card, and it's really hard to like put them in a tier list of like which ones are actually best. I think that the absolute standout cards are pretty obvious. You know, your top 3, top 4 cards. But at that 5th or 6th slot, there's a lot of cards there, and Greninja is definitely one of them that's up there. I think that Twilight Masquerade is a decent investment. I hold a bit of it. I would definitely regret it if I didn't hold some of it going forward. So I'm happy with my position. I'm probably not going to buy more into it because I think that there's better buys you can do right now specifically. But that's not to say I won't buy into more of it in the future. If it has a really good year going forward over the next 12 months and it's just continually doing steady growth like it did, let's zoom out a bit, 1 year chart, like it did around about this time, April, May, where it was just chugging up, then I would probably buy into more of it at that higher price point as well. If it's $500 and it just continues to chug a couple of % every week and it's just consistent, then I will probably buy into more of it. Personally, I'm not buying into more of it now unless I see a really good deal, but it is a really good set and I'm happy that I've got some in my collection. $289 last sold in the US. That's a decent price, especially when, look, an auction here on the same day, those are both yesterday, an auction went for $295. So really not too bad. I think that it's one of those situations where it's just once it's over $300, we won't see it under $300 ever again. I think that long term, because people like me doing these long term price predictions, 12 months to 24 months, $500 plus. And I think that's quite conservative as well. I think that it could really go above that because that's when you're getting to the stage where it's almost guaranteed we're not getting any more of it. So that's when I think that you'll see a run up in price. I think that it's going to struggle at around about the $400 mark. Once it gets up to that stage, and I don't know when that's going to be. It could be in 6 months' time. It could be in 8 months' time. I think that it's going to struggle to break 400, like we saw with Brilliant Stars and Silver Tempest a few months ago. And then once it does successfully break out through 400, I think it will have quite an easy run up to 500 a box. And then 500 is going to be a really hard target for it to push through for a little while. Last sold in the UK, £219. Still pretty cheap here in the UK. Really not that bad for quite a decent set. Paldea Evolved then, seeing again a bit of a price rebound, going back up to its all-time high. All-time high again was around about that July sort of time. $371 was the all-time high on the average price point. Last sold $375, $385, $380. There you go, Paldea Evolved back up there, smashing through all-time highs on the average price charts. Last sold on eBay, brand new listing, bought out straight away, $370. That's really strong to see it bounce back up to that. It did have a little bit of a retracing price over the last few weeks, but it's really starting to charge back up there. 2 sales there. Look at that. 2 sales, same day. New listing tag, $370. Bought out on a buy it now straight away. Auction, only 3 bids, $345. I think someone got a good deal there with the $345. That's why this channel is so good, because you can know your prices so that when you see a good deal, you can jump on them. Look at that, only 3 bids. If you'd have known your prices and you'd have seen that pop up, I would have bid on that if I was in the US and I'd have seen it. That is a really good price, whoever got that. That's quite a big swing in value as well. 345 to 370 is like an 8% swing, I'm guessing. Quick maths. What's that? 30 by 345. Look at that, 8.6% swing. Maths, quick maths. I'm getting better at that. Like, the more I'm doing the channel, the more I'm being able to like accurately do percentages off the top of my head, or at least like estimate them pretty close. I'm really proud of that one, actually. I'm going to reward myself after this video with a nice cold beverage, I think. Yeah, there you go. 8% swing between 2 sales on the same day. Paldea Evolved right up there at an all-time high. I think it will do very well long-term, Paldea Evolved. £279. Creeping back up there in price. It was around about 3 to 305 a few weeks ago. So it's not retraced to where it was a few weeks ago, but it's climbing back up there, especially on the eBay and secondary markets here in the UK. Let's talk a little bit about Paldea Fates. Paldea Fates is having quite consistent growth. I think it's very unlikely that we're going to see any more reprints of the Elite Trainer box. If we do, great. I would absolutely welcome them. Even though I own some, I would absolutely welcome some so I can buy more, because 2 of the best cards in the era. The Bubble Mew is absolutely insane. I don't really talk about singles prices on here on the channel. It's more about sealed. But if you're interested, go check out what the Bubble Mew is doing in a PSA 10 now. It is absolutely disgusting, but it's such a good card. Average price points last week, 218. This week, 220, 221. A couple of percent, about 2%. Price rise over the last week, but just steady growth, just steadily climbing. And I think that we haven't even seen it properly run yet. I think it will follow in the footsteps of 151. It will follow in the footsteps of Prismatic Evolutions, even though Prismatic Evolutions hasn't had that run yet and is a lot cheaper. I think that Prismatic will be clipping on its heels fairly soon. I don't know why I'm doing this. You can't see my other hand. That's my emote for clipping on its heels. That's the heels. That's the clipping on it. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Temporal Forces is at an all-time high for no good reason. $232. It's not that I don't like Temporal Forces. There's just so much of it for retail over here in the EU. We can ship it to you even after fees for $170. So please be very careful buying into it if you're in the US. There is a lot over here in the EU and it's not moving, and it's just sat on shelves for retail, and soon it will be below retail as well. And that's not even big box stores. That is Pokemon Center. We can buy it on Pokemon Center for below retail. Be very careful on Temporal Forces and Paradox Rift. Paradox Rift, someone's having a run on Paradox Rift. Apparently 38 items bought yesterday for, yeah, just increasing in price. Again, It's the worst set of the era. Worst booster box set of the era. That and Shrouded Fable. And like, whenever I say that, I have to be really careful because I'm going to offend someone. Because someone out there, that's their favourite set. And I completely get that. When I say that, I'm not insulting the set. I'm insulting the price potential of the set. I think that Paradox Rift is going to be the worst performing set of the era. Up there with Shrouded Fable. But I don't count Shrouded Fable because it's holiday set and it's a bit meh. So, yeah. Paradox Rift getting bought out, apparently. Be very careful. We've got loads of it here in the EU. We can ship it to you for $170. So whoever's on here buying it for $250, give me a call. I'll ship it to you cheaper. DM me on Instagram. I'll send you cases and cases. Honestly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's not that hard for me to do either. And we can both make a bit of money. Hey, if you want to contact me, I'll ship you some Paradox Rift. You can sell it on TCG Players straight away and make some profit. There you go. Crazy. I'm not actually going to do that. I don't agree with international arbitrage. I think it's fine for slabs and singles, but I don't like the idea of shipping cases around the world for a monetary gain. I just don't like that. It doesn't sit well with me personally. But for a lot of people, they don't have morals about the environment and they're perfectly happy to do that. So each to their own. But don't message me on Instagram getting me to ship you some Paradox Rift because I won't do it. But yeah, bit of a run up on Paradox Rift actually. Sorry, I was going to do the percentage price points. So I got a bit carried away talking about the environment. Last week, 212. This week, 250? Mad. So what's that? 38 on 212. Sorry, brain not working. Paradox Rift up 17.9% over the last week for no good reason. Like I said, be very careful. I can get them to you door to door for $170. Be careful. And there's an unlimited supply as well. Let's move on to the big boys of Sword and Shield then. We can't start off talking about Sword and Shield without talking about the king of the jungle, King Kong, Evolving Skies, Mr. Rayquaza himself. Or should we say Mr. Umbreon himself? Is Umbreon a man? I don't know. I don't know if I'm comfortable Umbreon being a man. I know that Umbreon could be either, I guess. I'd like to think that Umbreon's a female, though. I don't know why. It just sits better with me than Umbreon being a man. It could be, though. Some Pokemon... Isn't that weird how, like, some Pokemon obviously just seem weird in the other gender? Like a Mr. Mime. Can you get a female Mr. Mime? That's a scary thought. Or can you get a male Jinx? Comment down below. I don't know. This is a peculiar episode. This is what happens when I film later on in the day because I haven't had a coffee straight away and my brain is like awake and we've got some thoughts going on. Maybe some more of my personalities coming out in this video. It's very hard to compare price charts on Evolving Skies just because it's at such a high price point now that it's just all over the place, the average price chart. So it's better to just look at eBay. We go straight to eBay. Last sale in the US, $2,700, right up there at the all-time high. All-time high was what, 2,800 or something? But that was like a crazy sale. So to see more regular sales up around that $2,700 mark is really strong for it. And look at this. This is the half booster box from the EU. So we get these over here in the UK. The half now is selling for 1,200 quid. That's nuts. Absolutely crazy. That's an 18-pack booster pack, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar. I think they're becoming more popular over in the US. I still don't think they're printed over in the US, as far as I know. Those are all just imports, and then that one is US to US, so it's someone who obviously has it in hand in the US. I would always recommend, if you can, buying Pokemon products from your local market. So if you're US, buy from US people. If you're UK, buy from UK people. And it just takes away a bit of that headache as well, especially with like bigger value boxes like that. I'd really want to be buying it domestically, i.e. In the same country that I am, just because, you know, things could get damaged in shipping. It's just more likely to get damaged if it's internationally shipped. And I find that although eBay's very good and supports buyers, I feel like the returns process is just a bit smoother if it's domestic, and you want to support the other people in your community as well. I mean, I'm sorry, like, you can't start talking about scalping when you're talking about buying an Evolving Skies box that's been out of print for years. Do you know what I mean? It's just, that's a collector selling to another collector. That's all it is. So yeah, $2,700 in the US. Really positive to see it right up at that price point. We've been calling since about February time that we're going to see a $3,000 box by Christmas, and it looks like we're still set to see that. I'm not saying that market will be 3,000. I'm saying one sale will happen at that 3,000 mark. Last sale in the UK, 2,046. Again, really positive to see multiple sales at or around that $2,000 mark. Just an absolute monster of a box, and the GOAT set of the last decade. Let's talk about Fusion Strike then. Fusion Strike is continuing to run up in price. I think, to be honest, at this stage, Fusion Strike is just going to keep running out until it hits 1,000 at Christmas or sooner. Last sold in the UK, we are at last week 859 on the average. Now we're seeing 898. So what's that? 60. Brain's not working. 898 minus 849. $49 price rise divided by 849. Another 5.7% price rise on Fusion Strike. I don't know why I'm trying to calculate everything out in my head when I've literally got a calculator right there. I don't know who I'm trying to impress. Sometimes I can do it, and sometimes I'm fine with mental arithmetic, but sometimes I think part of it is like the pressure of filming the video. I think if I was just on my own, it would be fine, but it's when you're presenting and doing a video like this, you're always thinking about other things. You're trying to not leave gaps in what you're saying. And you guys know I'm good at that. I can talk for an hour without there being any gaps. But more than half of my brain is already thinking about what the next thing I'm going to say is. And that makes mental arithmetic really, really hard to do, because I'm also thinking about what I'm going to say next as well. So full transparency there. Disclaimer for why I sometimes need to use a calculator to work out quite simple mental arithmetic. But yeah, just continuing to run up in price, another 5%. It's had a historic run up in price again since the start of July, just absolutely pumping. Over the year, okay, TCG Player isn't going to show me a yearly chart anymore. Oh, apparently when you go on to the yearly chart, Fusion Strike is only $242 a box. So yes, please, TCG Player, I will have all of them for $242. Thank you very much. Last sold in the US. Look at this on an auction, $910. That is an all-time high right there. That is an absolute monster price for a Fusion Strike box. $910. We're going to see that $1,000 Christmas box almost certainly, I think, now. Probably a lot before. Maybe it will go past it. Maybe we'll see a $1,200 box by Christmas. Last sold in the UK, 600 quid. That's gone up quite a bit now as well. Just continuing week on week. And that looks like a haggard box as well. Maybe it's just a bad photo. We need to investigate. I like looking at these. Look at the state of that box. And someone paid 600 quid for that. Oh my gosh. Guys, what are we doing here? I hope that was a rip and shipper. I really do hope someone bought that just to open, because then it doesn't matter. But my lord, if you're paying 600 right at the top of the market for a box that's that badly damaged. I mean, in all fairness, the seal is intact. The seal is nice. It's just crushed. Someone had something heavy on top of that. Poor booster box. For me, it's like, from the side it actually looks fine. It's just that first photo. I wouldn't have led with that first photo. That's like the worst one. Oh my gosh. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, Shout out to Poke Relics for selling a squashed booster box. Let's talk then about Astral Radiance. Astral Radiance is falling from grace. It's dropping down in value. Astral Radiance is one of those sets that when everything Sword and Shield started to get bought out and manipulated a few months ago, Astral Radiance was one of the ones that ran with it as well because it was massively undervalued at the time. And then all we're seeing is a price consolidation on that. What's really interesting is if you look at the 3-month chart, you're like, oh no, it's just dropping down in value and dropping down in value. Must be a terrible thing to buy. It's really not that bad, to be honest. And when you zoom out, let's zoom out 6 months. Now look at that chart. Does that chart still look bad to you? No. All you're seeing is the price manipulation here. Not even price manipulation, just a buyout of Astral Radiance here. And it's shot right up to where it should be, sort of price-wise, around about this $400 mark. And then it's just consolidated back down. That's all it is. And it hasn't even gone down like... It's gone down... What, like a third? Not even a third of how much it gained in such a short amount of time. I think that these things will level out over time. And I think that Astral Radiance is on sale right now. And it's actually quite a decent buy for its price point. $400 for an out-of-print Astral Radiance. Astral Radiance, I put it up there as like a top 5 set in the era. It might be number 5, to be honest, now that Brilliant Stars and Silver Tempest have started to run. I don't know, Chilling Reign as well. I forgot about Chilling Reign. Okay, Chilling Reign is 5. Astral Radiance is like number 6. Hang on. Number 7. God, I'm really relegating Astral Radiance now. I don't think it's a bad set, but the reason why it's number 7 is because there's just so many other strong sets that are really starting to pump now. So it's got to go Evolving, Fusion, Lost, Brilliant, Silver, Chilling, and then Astral 7. It's got to be. There you go. Into the inner workings of my mind right there. For $400, I don't think it's bad though, but I'd rather just spend an extra $85 and get another Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars has had another really good week. It's starting to have a bit of a run. It was kind of predictable that Brilliant Stars and Silver Tempest were just falling behind and just having a delayed run behind Fusion Strike and Lost Origin. So, yeah, starting to move now up in price. I still think it's undervalued even at this price point. You got the big Charizard Alt Art Chase card as well. 434 last week. Next week. Last sold 585. That's a huge run up in price. What? Let's do that again. 434 to 585. What? 585 minus 434. $115 price rise in the last 7 days on the averages. Divided by 434. What's that? Like 30%? Yeah. Brilliant Stars up 34.7% in 7 days. Having a bit of a run. And like I said, it's just a rising tide lifts all boats. It was undervalued already. Fusion and Lost are having a run. And yeah, Brilliant Stars and Silver Tempest are starting to follow behind that. 34% price rise is nuts though in 7 days. I think it's just going to keep going though. It's out of print. You're not going to get any more of it. Yeah, 585. Crazy. Last sold in the UK, 414. Why have I done 2 UK? I've done 2 UKs, haven't I? Okay, let's just run it. Brilliant Stars booster box. Let's have a look at the US. We go into sold. I want to see what the last sold in the US is. $250. Nah. Oh, it's just eBay being stupid. Look, ended recently, sorted and filtered by, and it tells me a box in February. What? 231 here, August 23rd. Who bought Brilliant Stars for $231 when it's on TCG Player for $585? What is going on? Here's one, imported from the United Kingdom today. $541. There we go. There we go. New listing buyout, $520. I don't know what was going on with those other ones. Maybe they had rips, maybe they had tears, maybe it's just price manipulation, maybe they didn't complete on eBay. The first one was definitely from February, but that other one is crazy. $236. There's no way that completed. Yeah, zero feedback. Interesting. Probably a fake pack or something. I don't know. Probably didn't even complete. Probably didn't even go through. Anyway, last sold, 520 quid. Buy it now. Bought out instantly. I just realised as well, I didn't load up Lost Origin. This is part of the problem with having so many tabs as well. I just sometimes forget about sets. So we will very quickly live do you a Lost Origin price analysis, because I haven't actually looked at what's happening with Lost Origin this week. Lost Origin booster box, let's do this together. Had a bit of a run as well. Okay, continuing on last week's pump, 665 last week, and this week last sold 810. What is going on? Everything is pumping this week. 810 to 665. Lost Origin up $145. I'm as shocked as you are. I mean, I knew it was undervalued, but like, that's a crazy increase in price in 7 days. 145 divided by 665. Let's do a percentage. Lost Origin up 21%. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Let's go back to where we were then. Brilliant Stars having a good run. Silver Tempest also having a good run. Just like Brilliant Stars, just like Lost Origin. Not quite as big a gain though, but still chunking up there in price. I think that Silver Tempest is massively undervalued right now, personally, because I think we're going to see a full remake of Pokemon Silver. And I think we're going to see that on Switch too. There's been a lot of rumours floating around with it. I don't know whether it's been confirmed or not yet. A remake of Heart Gold, Soul Silver basically. And I'm telling you that if that happens, then Silver Tempest is going to overtake Brilliant Stars. And Brilliant Stars is already up at that like $800 range. So that's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Last week, sorry, I'm losing my words. I'm just thinking about this. Like, potentially Silver Tempest is one of the best things to buy right now. I might have to buy some more Silver Tempest. I sold some like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. 396. It's fine though. I invested it into other things. I bought more Destined Rivals at a low price with that money. So it's not the end of the world. 396 last week. This week, 450. So 54. 54 divided by 396. And silver up. It's crazy when like a 13% gain in 7 days seems small. But like really, that's astronomical as well. But it's just Brilliant Stars and Lost Origin and Fusion Strike, to be honest, have just had insane gains. I still can't believe that Brilliant Stars. The fact that Brilliant Stars is up over 30%, a third of its value in 7 days. That's absolutely nuts. Like, so crazy. I'm so glad I still hold Brilliant Stars. Last sold on eBay in the US, $510. The ETB's going up there in price as well. Instant buyout for $90. There is one on the shelf behind me, but you can't see the shelves anymore. Box Mountain is gone. We've got the new layout. There are reasons behind that. I wanted a more modest layout. I thought it was irresponsible to show boxes behind me because not everyone watching can afford them, and I don't want to have a situation where people, and some people always will, but I don't want to encourage people who can't afford it spending money they don't have just to fill up displays behind them, because it's not about that, and that's not why I had a display behind me. That's just extra storage, and I just turned it into a display. That's all it was. But I hope you like the new layout. Comment down below what you think of the new layout. We've got the theme of the haunted woods, like for the intro and outro. I really like it. The main reason why I did it though is so that you can see the page that way. The page and the listings a little bit clearer, because I think my camera was like cutting off these ones on this side a little bit beforehand. So hopefully that's a little bit more clearer for you. Let me know if you like the new display. I've also hidden my start bar down at the bottom as well. I didn't like that showing because it had like time and date and stuff like this. I mean, I always record and upload on like the same day, but I just didn't like, you know, like the timings of the day showing and stuff like that. I don't know, just a personal thing. Sometimes as well, you know, when you get like that little notification at the bottom that says like what the weather's doing in your town as well, sometimes that does like fishy stuff and like uploads weird stuff, like will like say your exact location, because it will say like there's traffic like on a certain road or something like that that's really close to you. So I was like, yeah, let's just hide the start bar. I hope you like the theming though. I kept the tabs at the top. I thought that you guys would like still seeing all the tabs at the top. Let me know if you like the tabs. I do go a bit crazy on the tabs though, you know that. Last sold in the UK, look at this, under £400. Well, over 400 if you go all in. £394 for a Silver Tempest in the UK. Let's talk about my boy Chillin then. Chillin is moving. We have just named it in our top 5, so that means that it will double in price overnight. Not true, but I wish it was. 471 last week. 595 last sale. Multiple sales there. Multiple sales at 600. What's going on? So yeah, Chillin is just up. What? $129 on 471. That's nuts. 129 divided by 471. Okay, Chillin's up 27% as well. Like, everything's just running again. I told you, I told you guys when it was getting manipulated and everything was having its run back here in May. I said that it's all out of print and there's nothing to stop them from doing it again and just buying it all out again, and it just happening again. There's no more of this product, okay? If people decide to buy it out and take it off of the market, the price will just go up, because there's always going to be people wanting it and wanting to buy it. And it's almost like a vicious cycle. Like, I'm starting to think now, it's getting more and more predictable, these buyouts. If we see another buyout in like 3 to 4 months time, then someone is playing the market so well, because they're just doing a continued increase in pressure every few months, and then that makes all the boxes that they bought previously more expensive. It's actually really clever. In fact, I don't even think it'd be one person. I don't think, obviously a whale could do that if they had the bankroll to do that, but I think it's a group of people. I think there's a group of people that I would like to be a part of, so please invite me. Message me on Instagram. I think there's a group of people, maybe just a few people, that have the funds and are doing a run up in price. It's a conspiracy theory in the Pokemon market, in the sealed market space. But if we see it in 3 to 4 months time, another buyout on Chillin' Reign, Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, Brilliant Stars, Silver Tempest, all at the same time, all within 3 to 4 months, I'm calling it now, then we know that people are artificially doing it. And what would happen if they then dumped all of their boxes? Would the price then drop down to like $300? Nope. I mean, it might drop down a little bit, but it ain't gonna drop that. It ain't gonna drop down to these levels. You're never gonna see these prices again of Chillin' Reign at $312 back in March. Just an FYI, when I started my channel, I was calling out for people to buy these for £140 in the UK. They were on Pokemon Center for months for £140 and Fusion Strike, and I was screaming at people to buy them. I hope that some of you did. I know some of you did, because some of you have told me how amazing you've done out of it. Last sold in the US, $550. New listing, bought out straight away. Looks like all these main boxes are going to 1,000 a box, to be honest. Definitely Fusion, definitely Lost. Brilliant Stars, Silver and Chillin'. Give it enough time, I think they probably will get up to that $1,000 range. Last sold in the UK, £465. I wanted to finish off by talking about something a little bit different. We are going to talk about holiday Pokemon Advent Calendar box thingamajigs. These. I'm a big fan of this product. They've been doing it every year. There's been like a blue one and a green one. They usually look the same, but they've just got like a different colour on the top. The reason I'm a fan of these products is because they're so damn cool. Investment wise, terrible. Don't buy it as an investment. Buy it to open it. And the reason why seasonal products really suffer is because they are always overprinted and undersold. Okay, even right now at the top of the bull market, especially here in the UK, you can go to card websites, third-party card websites that are retailers, and they will have no booster boxes in of anything. They will have no elite trainer boxes of anything in. And if they do, they're charging extortionate prices, like over market. They've almost always got last year, the year before that of these holiday calendars. They serve as like an advent calendar, and each day you get something new. Some of them have booster packs in. Some of them have some fun packs. You also get promo cards with exclusive stamps. Usually they have like a little like snowflake stamp on them. Really, really cool. The problem is, this is a 2-pack. People are trying to like scalp it for like over retail, $84, too expensive. My recommendation is that you buy one of these to open, not to keep sealed, for the fun of it, because it's nostalgic. It's great for kids as well. If you've got kids that have even a little bit of interest in the Pokemon hobby, get them one of these holiday calendars. They will love it. I would have loved it as a kid to have one of these to open up. And I'll give you a little hack. You don't need to buy this year's one. Last year's one, 2022, 2023, 2024 are available for under retail on a lot of these websites. Quite often you have to search for them. You have to look for either search for like holiday calendar or have a look at, I know here in the UK, one of the big sites groups it under other sealed product, and it's just got loads of random Christmas stuff and Halloween stuff from like previous years. It'll be much cheaper than trying to buy this product in a hype cycle. Yes, you'll get different things, but if anything, you'll get better stuff. I know one of the slightly older ones, I think it's, don't quote me on this, but I think the blue coloured one with the blue on the top here gives like Chilling Reign booster packs, like full Chilling Reign booster packs in there as well. Very cool. Encourage younger people into Pokemon, even if you just have it for yourself as well. If you can't afford to buy the main one, there's cheaper ones from previous years. You can still get them for quite a big discount because these stores can't move them. It's their own fault. They hide them in like the back end of their website. Have a little search for them. Make some kid happy today, basically. Whether that kid be you or whether that kid be your child or both. And then there's the Lost Origin that we have a look at. Anyway, that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the new layout. Let me know what you think about a female Mr. Mime down below. I want to know. Make sure you subscribe down below to never miss an opportunity. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll be back here in 7 days' time telling you everything else that's been moving in the market. Peace.